What's up YouTube? This is my first unboxing and overview of the Dell P2715Q IPS 27-inch 4K monitor. For convenience purposes, I have unboxed this already before, so this is going to be missing a lot of the protective packaging that is supposed to be present when you actually order your unit. Before we jump right in to the actual monitor, let's just check out some of the other accessories. This is the back plate that you can use to cover your different ports on the back of the monitor. You can use it or you can choose to not use it. Here are some documentations. For example, a color calibration factory report, a manual, a very simple one, and drivers and documentation. Now for the drivers, because I have ran this display already, I've tested it without any drivers. As far as Windows goes, it handles it very well, and you don't really need these drivers. Here are a bunch of cables, and again, I'm very sorry that I have opened the box before, but you know, this is kind of convenient that we don't have to open every bag again. So first of all, this is the USB cable. We have this because although this display does not have a webcam included, it does have some USB ports that can be used for expansion. So basically you can use this monitor as a USB hub. And so this is the USB cable that you need to connect to your computer in order to use those extra USB slots. Another included cable is the normal DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort cable right here. So you don't need any extra cables to connect your computer to this monitor. It's all included in here. As long as you have a DisplayPort on your computer, you don't need extra cables. This is obviously the power cable, the power cord. And oops, that's my own cable. Alright. Now, let's move on to the stand. So the stand comes right up here. There's some smart mechanism right here that allows you to easily attach the actual panel to the stand. The actual panel is, wait for it, right here. There we go. Now, I'm just gonna slide this out here. Take a look. It's sort of like a matte finish. Now, here's how we need to attach the stand to the panel, or the panel to the stand, if you will. There we go. If you want to detach it for some reason, all you have to do is press this little button right down here and lift up the panel. And there it goes right off. And back on. So it pivots, it tilts, it goes up and down, and it goes on its side. Now looking at the bottom of the panel, we have 3 USB ports, another USB port for connecting to your computer, 1 audio out port, 2 display ports, 1 mini display port, and only 1 HDMI port, and of course your power plug. And this is what the display looks like when it's fired up. Above the power button on the right side of the screen, you have 4 unlabeled buttons. Press any one of them and you would have this menu show up, enabling you to set your preset modes, change your input source, and go into the full menu of settings. Here you can change your contrast and brightness, the input source, change your color format and preset modes. You can change the aspect ratio, the sharpness, and also you can increase the response time, actually decrease the response time to fast, which would result in a slightly better experience when gaming. Now, uniformity compensation is useful for panels that are a little bit brighter in the middle and darker in the corners. This feature would actively try to cancel out the difference in brightness across the panel. At least for me right now, I don't need to enable this feature because I'm not noticing any light leaks or lack of uniformity across the panel and in the backlight. And under here we have MST, which is multi-stream transport, which is very, very important to turn on if you want to use DisplayPort to drive 3840 by 2160 at 60 Hz. Here you got some energy saving options. You could choose to automatically turn off the USB hub when it's on standby, depending on whether you have important devices attached to the monitor's USB hub. And you can change and personalize this menu right here. You can rotate it if you use the display in portrait mode, so the menu wouldn't be in a different orientation. You can also personalize your own shortcut keys. Here you also have some extra options. This DCCCI is a feature for color calibration. Since it's on by default, I would just keep it on. So there you have it, the Dell P2715Q, the cheapest 27-inch IPS monitor that you can buy. The colors are accurate, the contrast is great, the brightness is enough to use indoors, and the build quality will not disappoint. At least for my unit, there are no light leaks or anything like that. The Dell P2715Q is available on Dell.com for $699.99. If you learned something from this video, be sure to leave it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you think there are any better options for such a monitor.